Here's the uncomfortable part of Instagram. A big following is not the goal, an engaged one is, and those are two completely different accounts. One Skillshare class takes an account from nobody is watching to brands are paying, in the order the work actually happens. Just over 61,000 students have followed it through. This is becoming an Instagram influencer, creating authentic content and monetizing your following, taught by Dalton. 10 lessons, 47 minutes, no experience assumed. Here's the plan, the theme that holds a feed together, targeted hashtags and the hour after you post, editing, analytics, and the money, then what the students said. He starts with the thing he calls the most important part of Instagram: consistency. Somebody lands on your page, looks at the first 9 or 12 photographs and decides in seconds. One story in one style and they follow, random and they leave. He shows 2 feeds that get this right. A photographer touring the country, his dog hidden in every frame. An illustrator in Thailand shooting her drawings in her studio in the same soft tones. Nothing in common except consistency. So what should you post? He genuinely will not say. Makeup, cafes, salt and pepper shakers. If you love it, somebody else does too. The test is whether you would still photograph it unpaid. So who is teaching? Dalton, a travel and lifestyle photographer based in Thailand, who grew his own following by more than 25,000 in 9 months, and now gets hired by brands to do the same thing for them. The credential that matters is smaller than that, though. His first paid work arrived at around 5,000 followers from a brand that simply found him. He was not selling anything. The content was doing the selling. And it shapes the whole class. A narrow, personal theme, coffee and cafes in one consistent look, and an engagement rate of 10 to 15% on an account of roughly 18,000 followers at the time of filming. Inside, it is 47 minutes across 10 lessons. Short and unusually tidy. An introduction, your class project, 7 teaching lessons, and a closing word about what not to do with all of it. The contents page tells you the priorities. A theme, then content worth posting, then targeted hashtags and the engagement that makes them work, which together take the biggest share of the class. Then editing, kept deliberately small, and the analytics. Only after all of that does anyone mention money. Every lesson is a lever and they are pulled in order. And the longest single lesson at 7.5 minutes is monetizing and working with brands, which sits 9th of 10, behind everything that earns you an audience. Lesson 5, and this is where accounts actually grow. Hashtags are the only thing carrying your photograph past the people who already follow you. The obvious ones are useless. The coffee tag holds 68 million posts, so yours is buried within minutes. A targeted tag is narrower, quieter, and full of exactly your people. His example is the gap between a coffee break tag at 241,000 posts and a cafe hopping in Bangkok tag at 82,000. On the smaller one he trends and everyone browsing it already wants that photograph. His sweet spot, 15,000 to a million posts. Finding them is manual. Read the related tags, open the photos that look like yours, and take the tags out of their captions. Which brings us to the longest lesson in the first half of the class. Hashtags get the post seen. What you do in the next hour decides whether it stays. Post, drop your 30 tags into the first comment, then go and work those same tags yourself. Leave real compliments on real photographs, something specific about the light or the styling, and only then ask the person to look at your latest post. Value first, request second. Then answer everything. He gets 20 to 40 comments on a photo and replies to every one of them by hand. He is rarely in his own pictures, so the reply is the only place the person behind the camera turns up. Nothing about it is automated. And then the part people whisper about, engagement groups. A small chat of people posting similar things on similar tags. Somebody says they have posted and the others go and look. He keeps his to about 10. He left a group of 12 because he could not keep up with it. Lesson 7 is the shortest of the teaching lessons, and that is the message. 2 apps. 1 filter applied to every photograph with the strength pulled back until it stops shouting. Then Instagram's own editor, highlights down to hold the detail, shadows up to open the dark, color eased back a little. That is the whole edit. Lightroom on the phone gets a mention for selective edits on one part of a frame, and he is clear that it is optional, because the whole point of the filter is not the filter. It is the theme. The same preset on every photograph gives the feed one contrast, one color, and one mood without you deciding anything ever again. Find a look you like and then simply stop looking. Lesson 8 is the numbers, and it starts with the free ones. Connect a Facebook account and Instagram's own insights open up. Reach, impressions, saves, and then the useful part, who these people are. His week ran to 861 new followers, 59% women, mostly aged 25 to 34 in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Jakarta, and Singapore. That page is what a brand asks for before it pays. The third-party dashboards add follower history, hashtag performance, and your best hour to post, for him Monday at 11. But the number he defends is engagement rate, the share of your followers who react. Above 5 or 6% is good. His runs at 10 to 15. Friends with 100,000 followers sit at 2 and cannot sell it. Lesson 9 is the biggest in the class, and it opens with a short list. 3 ways an account makes money: your own product or service, sponsored posts where a brand pays you to photograph its thing, and affiliate links where you take a cut of every sale. Then the approach, and there is no agency anywhere in it. Shortlist brands that already suit your feed, tag them when a photo genuinely fits, message them, move to email, and pitch a specific idea rather than a follower count. Take free product early to build the portfolio. Step back and look at where the 47 minutes go. 7 in every 10 are spent earning an audience before brands are mentioned at all. The money is one lesson, 9th of 10. That order is the whole argument of the class. Reach comes first and money comes after. So, does it deliver? 92% of students said the class met or exceeded their expectations, and 38% said it exceeded them outright. On the most liked board, clarity of instruction takes the top place with 803 votes. The engaging teacher follows on 782, then helpful examples on 726. Organization, actionable steps, and audio and video quality trail behind them, which is a revealing shape. The 2 tags about teaching lead the board, and the one about production comes last. A class students trust for what it says rather than for how it looks, which is worth knowing before you press play. So who is it for? The passionate beginner who cares about something and has no audience yet. The stalled poster whose photos never reach a stranger, and the nearly there creator with a few thousand followers and no idea how to get paid. Skip it if you want bots or a shortcut. Everything here is manual. Because underneath the hashtags, the pods, and the analytics dashboards, the class keeps returning to one instruction over and over. Post what you love. The money follows. Theme, content, reach, engagement, and only then money, in that order every time. Do it the other way round and you build an audience that quietly stops listening. Which brings us finally to the verdict. So then, worth 47 minutes. Yes, if you want a plan rather than a trick. You get a working photographer's whole method. How to choose a theme, how to be found, what to do in the hour after you post, and how to ask a brand for money. The class is included with a Skillshare membership, and there is a free trial, so it genuinely costs you nothing at all to start. And then there is one last thing. Click the link in the description. It gets you in free through Skillshare. Then go and find 3 targeted hashtags for the thing you actually love photographing. 3 tags tonight. That is the entire assignment. See you in the next review.